Hi, it is I. I am the silly's here. We can start. All right, good. I'm started. Now what? How you doing, silly? I'm gonna do some Jagdpanzer. Hopefully, the overhead is reasonably in focus. I've not been having a good time with that, really. A different lens. I'm thinking of going back to the 5 to 50mm one, whatever it was. Dance, monkey, dance. I will not. What I will do though is piss and moan about the photo etch I'm about to put on. Not literally though, of course. Hey, Jagdpanzer IV, I think I remember you. I'm a very forgetful person, though. I hope you're well, though. Build, monkey, build. Well, I was gonna build anyway. Now I feel stupid for continuing to build. Okay, I guess we will not complain and pout too much about the photo etch, because doesn't look like it's going to be too difficult. Though they do seem to be specific for different positions. I wonder if that is in fact the case. Are they different sizes? This number 3 one seems to be ever so slightly longer. And it goes on there. I'll just do them one at a time as the instructions want. You can come off the thing if you want. Part. Hey, I want to read it as razor blades, but I know it's meant to be razor blades. That's a bit of a name, but welcome. I hope you're doing well. Okay, I guess I probably could have cut that a bit better. Guess I could hold that a little bit better. Who are we kidding? I'm not going to hold anything. I'm like the Prime Minister we had when the bushfires were happening, and he was like, I don't hold a hose, mate. Fucking scummo. What a terrible person. I just want to get rid of the little nubbin. Is that so much to ask? It's probably good. Okay, now how do we bend this? We've got a bender. Your surname is Blade. That is one of the coolest surnames I've ever heard. It looks like these are meant to have sort of an angle in the corners and not just 90 degrees. Maybe I can just bend it by finger. And tweezer. Those benders are not cheap. I don't remember how much they cost, but it was definitely not nothing. And it was a cheap one. I saw some that were like Hundreds of dollars. And I said, no thank you. No thank you, sir. I do not want to spend hundreds of dollars. I'm going to say that's good enough. It does make it a little bit hard to get it exactly the right level. Watching from Adelaide. It's good to have more Australians around. This is the time zone where it's... I don't know what time it is in Adelaide, but probably a good time zone for most of Australia. It looks a bit wobbly, but... Battle damage. The youth did it. Hey, Mark Ferguson. Almost 4 AM. Why are you up watching me? Go to bed. Go to bed. That's what I would do if it was 4 AM and I was tired, I guess. If you're not tired, I'm glad to have you here. Stop bending that and try to glue it on. With our beloved super glue. It looks like these are just meant to just plop into place. There's a little bit it can sit in. The way I'm gonna do it is one end at a time. Hey, Mace model assembling and Rick Slot Boom? Slot Boom. Hope you guys are well. Why am I not set to video? I don't remember taking pictures of anything. Why am I set to photo? Drugs, probably. That looks good. This super glue hasn't been around long enough to have bonded itself shut, which is nice. Probably way too much glue on there. Just bent the part out of shape a little bit by being a clumsy idiot. Probably glue has stopped being glue at this point. The trouble with this is the bond is just the flat end of the photo etch part, which isn't much. Why is it twisted? Is it a fire starter? Twisted fire starter? That looks like it's going to stay there. Not perfect. Risk squeezing it a bit. Good enough, I would say. Don't know how well you can see that on the overhead. You can see it, and you know it's there, because I put it there. If anyone says it's not there, you can tell them they're a liar. A 16th scale Panzer 38T, that sounds pretty cool. I didn't know they made one in that scale by Hobby Boss. The biggest... I don't have space for anything much bigger, but the Panzer II, I think, I did in 16th scale was pretty cool. It's definitely a scale you can do a lot of detailing and have it be visible. I can absolutely see the appeal. I was really tempted a while ago to get a... Pretty sure it was a Panzer IV in 16th scale. The box probably wouldn't have even fit in my car. More nubbin removal. Slightly more difficult than it is on plastic. But they go away this way pretty easily. And I'm hoping, because they look basically identical, I'm hoping they are identical, and it doesn't matter which one goes where, because I've definitely mixed them up. Hey Martha Dennis, how you doing? Maybe you should finish first on the stash. Yeah, maybe. This year for me is going to be finish the stash. Maybe not the entire stash, because that's a lot of models and I might not want to build some of them. And I am allowing some new purchases. For example, the Vespid Hetzer, when that comes out. Things like that. But I would like to buy a new PC this year, so saving as much money as I can is going to be important. And I've got a fuck ton of awesome kits to build anyway. A big Tiger 1 pack. So that's 3 new to... That's cool. I didn't know that was a thing. Now I'm being tempted. It's not hard to do. Actually, I did already break my rule pretty quick this year because Hatton's is closing down, so I had to order some stuff from them. Had to. I saw they had metal wheels for Pico wagons for like half price or something. So I bought a box of them. A couple of wagons and a structure. A brewery. That's probably reasonable. YouTube hasn't been giving you notifications. That's obnoxious. I really hate that. I assume you're following the channel. I don't know how... I mean, streams on YouTube seem pretty secondary, so I'm not surprised it doesn't tell people when I'm streaming. But I do put notifications on Discord if you want to follow there, and there's a schedule on the Twitch page that I stick to pretty well. Things have been a bit... there's been interruptions on the days I stream lately, but that is pretty much over now. I should be streaming on my regular days as consistently as I can. Speaking of which, I may or may not stream tomorrow morning. Depending on how exhausted I am. I was just about to say 100 euros sounds pretty cheap, but that's euros, not Australian dollars. Still, that's pretty good. It's not too horrible. You pay for the new stuff, I guess. I'm also having trouble deciding whether I want to spend money on things like the final NoFX tour, which is in 4, 5, or 6 days. Do I really want to pay over $100 for NoFX though? That one doesn't have the little... I think I might have put that one on upside down. It doesn't have the little doodads to help hold it in place. Australian dollary-doos, they are worth not nothing, but not much, unfortunately. Let's put glue on both ends of this and try to just plop it on. Okay, that's twisted because I'm terrible at whatever it is I'm doing. Let's see if I can fix it. It's not super twisted. It's not quite the twisted fire starter. Assembled this model lately. Small size of a keychain. Is that like a... How big would that be? That'd be like 100th scale size? Let's just plop this on. Try not to get the glue on the fingers and try not to have the glue fall over. Fail. wonder if the glue even bonded. Nope. Sure as fuck didn't. Have I mentioned that I do not really like photo etch? Not really a fan. Because there's nothing to guide this, it's really difficult to get into position when your big fucking fingers are in the way. Ah! Ass! Piss shits! Titty sprinkles! That's just gone and deformed it because it's stuck to my finger. Too far forward. That looks like absolute shit. Doesn't quite sit over the vision device properly. I think that's the best it's gonna be. And we can just say that some no-good punk kids damaged it. Why do people always call me when I just want to watch your stream? The nerve they have. Just tell them to shit off. Tell them how horrible they are. And how little you value their call. I'm glad I'm not the only one that suffers too, Rick. I mean, I do ham it up a little bit. Because that really wasn't the worst photo etch I've ever dealt with, but sometimes you've just got to use some creative language with it. Didn't listen, just talked and talked and talked. I hate it when people do that. They're all like, I have things to say. I'm gonna say them. And you're gonna listen. Duplicate kits, eh? I have kit bashed. I did a long time ago now, a beetle that I tried to post-apocalyptify. Not much other than simple little bits on the odd occasion. I am going to... I've got a small car that you wouldn't really consider a post-apocalypse vehicle, a Daihatsu of some sort, that I'm going to kit bash in the near future. I'm just going to go through my bits box and find some things that'll look cool on it. Okay, we got that. Next step is no more photo etch for now. Yay! And that looks like whatever those are. Might be fiddly, but other than these side plates, the photo etch, the fiddly bits of photo etch are done. I don't think I could... I just about crap my pants reading 60 ERA blocks. That sounds horrible. But then, I mean, once you got into a rhythm with it, and if you didn't do them all at once, maybe it's not that bad. I mean, I do build individual track links sometimes and not die, so it's probably not that horrible. Not something that appeals, though. Excuse me. What to do, what to do. We have just, I think, completed all of this. I'm going to say yes, it is done. What is that gold stuff I saw in a kit once? Didn't know what they were. It was probably photo-etch. Like this thin... I think it's brass. It's etched metal for thin bits of detail. Or torture, depending on what it is. Thought I'd need these, but I don't. Not yet. I wonder if... the instructions don't say to, but I wonder if it is now time to glue the whole top on. I can't see anything that needs to go on the inside. The instruction has said to put the roof on, even though I already did it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So wild and reckless. He's gonna glue the top part of the model on. Ooh. Okay, where do we make contact? You know what? Maybe I don't need to. I'll just put that on there. Screw the lid off all the way. Do it, you rebel! You can't stop me. Oh, I nearly knocked my glue over again. It is not something I really want to be doing. Need to hold that down a bit, I guess. Don't need to film the whole lot of holding down because it's not especially interesting footage. Make sure there's plenty of glue for the glue god. Yes, on the kit bash, please. I was going to do a truck, but like the truck kit is really... I don't know if it's not daunting is not the right word, but it's going to be a lot more work and I want to start off smaller. I'm going to try and make it sensible, like plausible, I guess. So it's not going to be like sci-fi guns or whatever. But I'm going to try and make, you know, welded on bits of steel and spikes and things. Hey, the big boy, how you doing? Killing plastic crew by not building them does not count. Oh, man. Well, I'm still gonna not build them. That's coming undone, so I gotta hold it a bit more. This is the best part of building models, holding them. The music would seem to suggest that it's very thrilling. Gonna stay? Yes you are. This side isn't as good. There's a little bit of damage there. But... yeah, he said but. But... that's probably going to be pretty well hidden by the shirts and... That just means I have to remember not to have a damaged missing shirts and panel there. Got a clamp? Do that for you. I think it would be kind of hard to get a clamp in under the side part there and the top part there. I do have some small clamps laying around here somewhere, but it would take far longer to find them. Well, let's come up there too. It would take far longer to find them than it would just to hold the parts. Though I am going to have to hold this for a few seconds. One day Herbert will build 1/35th scale Tamiya figures by not building them. I don't believe you. If I see them building themselves, I'm going to stop them. Hopefully that stays. It stays right where I want it. It looks alright. And now we find out that I actually needed to get to something on the inside. I believe you've answered this before, but how do you store your many, many models? Do painted models get a special display? There's a couple of models in little plastic display things I got from Daiso around. I don't think there's actually any in here anymore. Most of stuff gets put in a box or on the shelf above my desk. I don't have a lot of space for actually displaying things. Also, it's the first time Rick can watch the stream because of time differences. I always wondered what is the glue with the cut on an angle. It's SMS extra thin cement, but the brush doesn't come that way. It would normally be a bit more that way. But I cut it to a thin, to like a point, just to make it easier to use. I don't have... This is an older bottle. It's all dry. But the brush looks usually more like that when you buy it. I don't think they actually make this bottle anymore. They have one. I haven't needed a new glue for a while. But they have one that's more like the Tamiya extra thin square bottles. Probably, I'd assume, with a pointed brush in them. I think a lot of people build technicals and stuff. I think it's funnier to do like a shitty little Daihatsu hatchback modified. Maybe not even with a gun, but like just like with bits of sharp metal all over it and like a roll cage welded onto it. It probably will have a gun, but you know. What now? Detail parts on the roof. Get the sprues out of the box. Now we need D sprue, which is this one. D absolutely stands for dicks. Where are my clippers? Behind the instructions for some reason. I haven't used them tonight, that's probably why. What about a catapult? Ooh. I know you can buy, like, well, trebuchets, probably catapult kits. Maybe you could strap that to a car. A field toilet on a pickup would be nice. Maybe not a technical. You give it one of the funny MG shrouds from the AC-1 Sentinel. I would, if they made an AC-1 Sentinel in plastic where I could get a leftover part from. That would be great. Just somebody's pilfered, like, one of the Australian armor museums that has one of them. This'll look good on my car. Want D9. D9 like the bulldozer. Or the band named after the bulldozer. And D27.
I mean really brutally weird stuff. Butt stuff.
Butt stuff. That is probably one of the best one of those. Little too zen. Or Battleship the game space. Space to play the game Battleship. You sank my battleship. That's all I need of the D-sprue for the moment. It's the E-sprue. We're not looking for that. I am ill prepared for this. Got these little things. And the instructions also want the J sprue, which I can see under everything, pretty much. Keyboard dying, eh? I don't see what it was. It just says message retracted. $32, which is these clippy boys. There we go. There's still a bit to clip off those. And some sort of handle for handling. 57. Oh, why? Yeah. No, it's not so bad. The mounts that hold it on the sprue have quite a bit of flash on them. And of course it's very thin and easily broken. So far it has not broken. How do you sharpen model clippers? I don't know. I don't. I've never had clippers that lived long enough to get dull. I don't know that you need to sharpen them. You don't... I guess the way to look after them is not to use them on stuff that's going to dull them too much. The ones that I've had broke, ones before this broke, and they were still sharp. So I guess buy new ones when they break before they go dull. That's how you sharpen them. Hey, Jeremy Brooks. Temperature in your part of Canada is negative 25 degrees. Nice. I'm jealous. It's 26 degrees here at 10 at night. And it wasn't even that hot today. Okay, that looks good. Just abuse the clippers. On this? Actually, no. Did. I may have done it wrong. Maybe I did it right. Oop. Maybe both of those nubbins were meant to be cut off. Yeah, that's probably likely. Nubbin thought it could escape me. Point on your trumpeter BTR-80 that you can't go further because you need to paint the interior first. Ah. Paint isn't either drying because it's very wet and cold. That sounds annoying. I wish I had a solution. The only conditions I'm used to are either air-conditioned room with dehumidifier or horrible, highly humid awfulness, which is probably not great for paint either. Look at that nubbin. You can go away too. Knoll the nubs. Not all nubs are bad. We've got to keep that in mind. Guide nubs are good. These mold lines, though, not cool. So, modelers assemble and go to Australia is you don't ever get in a car wreck because of iced roads. Just like So like, oh, not too bad. I was looking for some insects. You got any insects, bro? And you have a pleasant conversation in passing. I can't read what the text says, but I think it's a tank engine, a German tank engine. I think BR-86, something like that, from Hobby Boss. I've been thinking about building that, but you know, there's so many other things I want to build. Let's stay at the whole rear and glue this, whatever it is, on. Lunch? I want lunch. I'm kind of hungry. I guess soon it'll be midnight snack time. I had an early dinner. Too early. In Model Hell, the carpeting is 70s shag. It's 2 feet thick. Terrible. Oh, that's so horrible. Just the carpeting by itself, but then when you think all your model bits would go into that and get lost. Except for the sharp bits, which will probably find their way into your foot. Any model in any kit in any scale for free, what would it be? I guess the thing to do would be to pick like the 16th scale Panzer IV that I was talking about earlier. Other than that, I can't think of a good answer. Where does this go? I can't tell if it's actually got a guide tab on it or not. Also, I just noticed there's a big heckin' mold line on the bottom of the handle. What about those vents for air cooling things? Fall in there way too often. Well, I don't have anything like that in here, but that would definitely be a thing in modeling hell amongst the shag carpeting. There'd just be vents in the floor for no reason at all, with openings big enough for model parts, but no way to either open them or get anything in to retrieve model parts. When you drop something in there, you hear the sound of the carpet monster laughing. Looks like that's where that goes. Oh, yeah. I don't know if there's a specific way this goes in. It should just plop right in the top here. Wonder if I should... You can get glue there without it going into the moving bit. But just in case... Put the gun like there because that's about where I want it. And if it gets bonded into place, so be it. I don't care. €35th kit of the elephant by Tamiya. €73 only. 120 Australian. That's a lot of money. Are you going to buy that, Trekan? Or are you just looking? I feel like an elephant kit would be kind of interesting to do. Like the armored fighting vehicle, not the trunked beast. Though that would be cool to do as well. I'd build a model of an elephant. Why not? Who wouldn't? Okay, I think this bit should just plop into place. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Better not slip inside the hull. Gonna go in. I'm just gonna disobey my pressure. You shit. I'm hesitant to put glue on it just in case it won't go in. Ugh. That ought to hold. Hannibal's war elephant. I could make a post-apocalyptic elephant with bits of rebar hanging off of like one of those little boxes they put on the back of them. That'd be cool. But what I'd do if something fell in the hull now, I would piss and moan and cry and probably get it out through the rear. Just needs a bit of downward pressure, and I've bent the little thingy on the back of the mudguard. You shit. Looking the very old Panzer II kit by Tamir in 35th, which comes with the DAK soldiers. Ah, that shouldn't be too hard. Well, maybe it is hard to find because of its age. I would not know, I've never looked. Do you have a plan for something like that, Trekan? Are you going to build a diorama? Oh, I was hoping that wouldn't fall off. I blame the children. Feck! Oh, you bastard! That's straight enough. That's neat enough. It's probably going to get knocked off again at some point. Dak soldiers who? Daka? Yes. Tamir got a livestock set in 35th scale. It includes Doggo, Egg Shitter, and Idiot Goat. I have seen those before and thought about getting them. I have no idea what I would use them for, but why not? Years ago, you entered a modeling competition in which someone else built an African elephant with the tank tower replacing its head. That should win. That should win. I'm glad that it did. I'd be angry if it didn't. The world needs stupid things like that. Just like the Panzer II. I mean, fair. It's an interesting vehicle. I'm going to assume these will just plop on, but test fitting... I mean, I've forgotten the name from that joke Trekan made. Jeffreying. Named after Jeffrey Test Fitting. Probably don't really need to put glue anywhere except the pin, and then we can drop more in around the edges when it's on. Thusly. That'll make the glue god happy. Really cool model in a store that they won't stock. Old kit, 6 years. 6 years isn't really that old for a kit. I don't think. Why won't they... What is it, they won't restock it or they can't restock it? The next step wants me to build the jack. I'd be happy to build the jack, but I should probably go back and get the cover for that moving periscope thingy. And wouldn't you know it, there's an internal component to that sliding cover. That's okay, we don't need it. That's probably only if you want it to remain movable. And I feel indifferent to that. Need the E sprue. That's the D sprue. That says E. E for Eeper. I told you so. Yeah. It's interesting, I was looking at some 35th scale kits by Tamir, and I know the cover art of some from your youth. You have to keep in mind that I'm that old that I wasn't allowed to serve in the Imperial German Army in World War I. Neither was I, being Australian and not born at the time. Let's just get rid of these knobs. This is a no knob zone. That's probably going to slot right over the top of the thing. Sensitive music, you say? I'm not sure I agree. It could be more sensitive. It should be more in touch with my needs. That's fine. We don't need the interior part for that. Aggressive then. I haven't put any aggressive music on here for a while. I quite like the epic channel. I also took away the button on my stream deck that switches to the metal channel. Farewell, Martha Dennis. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you have an excellent whatever time it is where you are. I'm gonna stick this on and hope it doesn't cause any problems. I do appreciate that that would just slide along. That doesn't seem to want to move anymore, so we don't need to worry about it. And it's not going to do any... It's not going to cause any mischief if I glue it on. I hope. It comes to your mind that you have a Panzer II kit by Rubicon and 2 boxes of Panzer II by Battlefront. So it seems you have fun buying Panzer II kits. Well, why not add to the collection? I've totally forgot about the Panzer II by Rubicon. I should buy more kits from Rubicon. I want to save my money though, man. I'm so bad at saving money. It's kind of annoying because there's concerts a lot of concerts. Me and Danny were talking about it the other day, that there's so many things coming this year. The first two being NoFX and then Blind Guardian next month, which I'm hoping there are still tickets available for. Because the last time Blind Guardian came to Australia, they only played Melbourne. And what old Herbert did was bought his tickets and booked a hotel and flights down to Melbourne, then got hospitalized the day before flying out. And they said that I shouldn't go, or I would probably die. They didn't say that, but they said they wouldn't let me go. Went to see Sabaton last year. That was awesome. Yeah, Sabaton are really good. I saw them with I can't remember the name of the Monomath a couple of years ago. They did recently-ish come here, but only played a festival that I didn't really want to pay over $200 just for Sabaton for a festival length set. Herbert dying? That is a myth. That's true. I have a beard. I can't be killed. Hey, Storm of Steel Wargaming, how you doing? It is afternoon in the UK. Okay, I should probably figure out what to put on the model next. I'm getting very distracted. Distracted Herbert? Surely not. I'm gonna need these, I think. And it looks like we need the J for Jack sprue to build the Jack. Very Jackula. Uh, 54. Also this. Why you gotta be so small? I think they're lying to me through instruction, because this bit is J15, and then it says the handle is also J15. I think that's the handle, J18. Can't fool me. You can't fool me, it's pretty easy to do. Not this time. At Golden Circle tickets for €70. Had Lordy as a pre-program and Baby Metal as a special guest. I'd like to see Lordy. I'd also see Baby Metal aren't my favorite, but I'd see them. They seem like they'd be a good live show. Bedtime, you say? It is almost bedtime for me too. It's almost 11. That probably explains why I'm a bit tired. To glue these small parts correctly is one way of earning your sauerkraut. Yes! It's gonna be that easy? Or is that gonna be hard? And you know something that I don't? And you want me to starve by not getting my daily sauerkraut? Would have sworn that little melody at the start of this song sounds almost exactly like the vocal melody for Crown and Ring. I think it's Crown and the Ring by Manowar. All of you nobbins can nobbin off. Have a great fiddle with the tiny parts. I will. Thank you for dropping by, silly. I hope you have a great time. Whatever you're doing. Excuse me. It's probably afternoon for you too. I'm not good at time zones. Maybe that's just me. I've never been a good worker. Yeah, I think I've got that glued together the correct way. I hope I do. Otherwise they're gonna beat me up. I can't quite tell which way around this should go. But it looks like that might be it. Doesn't fit that way. Consult the instructions a bit closer. You've been off mini construction for a while and kind of feel like returning at some point. Any thoughts? Do it? I mean, what else is there to think? Either you want to get back into it, in which case I would say hell yeah, or you don't, which doesn't seem to be the case. And it's fine being on and off with things like hobbies because it's just a hobby. You can pick it up and put it down and it'll still be there when you're ready to come back to it. Assuming you don't like throw all your stuff away. Even then, it's just stuff you can buy more. Didn't quite see if there was a particular way that should go on, but that looks right to me. Could be wrong. The instructions aren't... They show it at an angle like that. So you can't see this side, which is what I want. Even the stuff you love to do in your free time, if it's something you want to do, when it becomes something you have to do, it ends up sucking a little. Yeah. I've never had a job that was something I really loved, so I wouldn't know, but even then, like, it would still be a job. It changes things. The instructions seem to show that base plate as square-shaped, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Unless I'm missing something. No, Herbert wouldn't be missing something. That's going to get glued that way. If that's incorrect or upsets somebody, well, tough shit, I guess. I think we need glue first here. Looks like keying for this. Which goes somewhere. Come on. You shit. goat there.
But.
I do enjoy that one. Rules are made to be broken. Hell yeah. When I did my first model for a local contest, the moment I had a deadline meant I had to build that model before that time sucked some of the enjoyment. The whole point of a hobby is that it's supposed to be something you do that you like whenever you feel like it. Yeah, I mean, some people enjoy the competition side of that sort of thing, but I don't, and that's okay. But like, it's a hobby. It should be fun. And you can have as many hobbies as you want, and you can, you know, do them whenever you want. Also, no need to apologize for the grammar massacre. You did get your point across. I don't usually mind people who don't write with the best grammar, unless they're being dickheads, and you obviously weren't. That looks like a jack. It goes on the tank somewhere. I don't know. There are brackety doovers that go over it. But isn't rules are made to be broken a rule? And if rules are made to be broken, that means breaking the rules means following the rules. Rip. It looks jacked. Ha ha ha. I am getting quite tired and need to put food into the Herbert before sleeping. So we're just going to sit that there and hope we don't lose it. It'll stay on the model for... Did that camera just go blurry, or was it blurry the whole time? Or is it blurry, or am I just imagining it? I need to spend more time fiddling with the overhead camera, I believe. Anyway, I'm distracted. I will probably be back in the morning. I don't know if I'll do Farm Sim or Railroader, but one of those. The schedule says Farm Sim because it's Thursday morning. Or, depending on how badly I sleep, I may not do the morning stream and stream in the evening. We'll see. Probably in the morning.
Really brutally weird stuff. Bot stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's what is going to happen. Bot stuff. I probably stream tomorrow, but I thought I had something to say, but I don't. I'm going to bed. Thank you for watching. I'm not going to do a raid. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow, probably. Toodaloo.